Colour to gold grey Delhi was Team Fitoor as Katrina Kaif and Aditya Roy Kapoor tell us why it would be a good idea to curl up with Pashmina this weekend. Well, this winter, Delhi gets embraced in the warmth of Pashmina. So, it's literally poetry in motion when I saw it. So, was it tough doing that song because those balletic movements? Because earlier when I saw you doing Kamli and I was like, how flexible is she? And suddenly now you see the two of you, it's literally poetry, that song.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's one of the nicest things I've heard so far.
Actually, have a high five on that.
Well done.
Because I think we both really, we really tried. We really worked hard on it. Bosco, the choreographer, was super excited about doing this kind of dance. It's some people call it contemporary, some people call it lyrical, and it's a type of dance which I've always been very afraid of, because I feel that one has to be professionally trained for it, and it was really daunting, I think, for both of us. So we really put a lot of work into it. We both forego our Christmas and New Year holidays.
We worked through the holidays. And we didn't have that much time to actually get this done. We had a bit of a time limit.
We literally had about 3 days.
Yeah, 3 sessions. And but it was such a beautiful idea, and they had put up such a great set that we didn't want to let it go. So it was a matter of just giving it your all for a few days, and that often happens in film. Yeah.
And came out with very few injuries.
Yeah, true. And you'd always said that when you asked to dance, you put in a whole lot of effort. You practiced, and we've seen you. But when you were told this is the song, were you a little wary, like, oh, what can I do?
I was very, very concerned for one reason, and that was just I felt we had too less time.
Yeah.
Bosco was shooting in Thailand. It was kind of everything came together in the very last minute, and I would have ideally liked like 10 days to rehearse this.
I was like, yeah, I think Katrina will be fine. And she was like, no, Adi, you need 10 days for a song like this.
I was freaking out. I was freaking out.
I just said you couldn't take your eyes off her, literally, when you were dancing.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Well, I can say that now, but yeah. But she was looking great, and I think I wasn't looking too bad myself.
No, not too shabby, as they say.
This is the new style of love. Rather than telling you the girl how good you're looking, the guys have now started saying,
yeah, I'm not looking too shabby
myself.
Huh? But from Dickens' 19th century Kent to 21st century Kashmir, so what are the great expectations from Fitoor for the two of them?
The great expectations are that we entertain people. I think that's the be all and end all of every good film. It entertains in whichever shape or form. So that's what we want to do. We want to give people their money's worth. We want to give them a feeling, and that's the films that stay with me the most are the ones that kind of evoke an emotion in me, rather than technically sound, and all the rest of it is just fluff for me. When I'm emotionally touched and the film stays with me, that's the one I like, and I think that's what we want to happen.
So what about you? This is a story that we all grew up reading. Was Estella the person that Dickens' heroine resonated with you on any level, or do you feel that she and you are like poles apart?
I actually feel that the character Estella, which my character Firdaus is adapted or inspired from, is completely opposite of me, and I think that's why one of the reasons why I was so attracted to it and to the story. You oftentimes, things that are so far removed from you, I think sometimes those are the things which catch your imagination. And a girl who just who doesn't seem to know her mind, who doesn't really know what love is, who doesn't understand or accept or embrace the feeling of love, to me that's just completely opposite to me. So I found it very interesting and very, very, very challenging to try and understand what Abhishek's vision for her was. I thought that was going to be a really exciting part to play.
And as we've been reading, you were the one who went up to Abhishek and said, "Pass me in Fitoor." Is it true?
No. That's not true.
There you have it.
But we had amazing meetings and amazing discussions, and I remember from our first meeting, we were just very, very in sync with what we both wanted to achieve from this film. Not just about my character, but just kind of what his vision for the film was. I just instantly loved, and I just thought it was beautiful.
And also you're playing Noor, Pip, in the book. There's this brooding intensity to him. There's something that you also seem to have been, synonymous with, because your character, whether it was Ashiki, Aditya, and Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, that brooding moodiness is something that you like.
Were you brooding in Ye Jawani Hai
He
Diwani?
In the second half, the character kind of took this graph. In the first half, he was this fun-loving
Well,
kind
then
of guy.
suddenly
And
he
then
becomes very
he becomes,
intense and-
yeah, life doesn't treat him too well, and he gets intense and bitter.
So why is it that you're being like put in that more like brooding intensity?
I don't know, maybe a couple of them work and then they start casting you in those, you know. So
See, from distance, do you look like you're brooding?
I don't have enough of a
Like
beard for the
Davesh, he
brood
did
right now.
comedy and they were like, "Nahin, I think we like him when he's brooding."
Yeah, I know Davesh for a bunch of reasons.
Yeah, actually, and I'm remembering Ashiki too. I was just rewinding in my head. Yeah, he's got that kind of that inherent that you feel sorry for him because he's hurting, but yeah, he still seems innocent enough to pull it off
there
and
you
not
have
come across as badly behaved. Like
Not
you-
badly behaved.
You still had the sympathy, even though you were badly behaved in Ashiki too.
Yeah, I think that was
was
the
still
key.
there.
I wasn't self-pitying or anything. But yeah, so what was your point?
We saw your character when the first look came, flaming red hair. Was it something that you were like a little skeptical about, or were you like, it's okay?
Me and got to discuss Firdaus having red hair. I think the inspiration came from the chinar trees in Kashmir and that whole kind of symbolism, of course, also red being the color of fire, being the color of passion, in a way the color of love. I instantly agreed to it, and then only then once we started trying to do the color did we realize how difficult it is to get red hair. So it was.
I was really excited about her red hair. I was like, it was looking amazing. It was looking great.
But it just stood
It looked
out.
amazing, you know.
It just stood out.
It was fun. Sometimes it was really fun. Like, oh, my hair's red.
Yeah.
And sometimes it was really difficult.
Yeah, I know, like your can out.
Like
and
when
then
I went on the red carpet in Cannes, I didn't realize I was wearing a red dress and I had red hair.
on the red carpet, it was like, oh dear, what happened
Well,
there?
that's cool.
I think it was cool.
Is it a personal choice that you prefer doing one film at a time? Because we've kind of missed you in 2015. I last spoke to you was Bang Bang. I mean, is it a personal decision that you like to focus on one film at a time?
Oh, no. I think that's the best way to work, and I think it's an ideal way to work for any actor. But actually, for the last 2 years, I've been working on 3 films, kind of going from one to the other. One is, of course, Fitoor. The other one is a film called Baar Baar Dekho, which is Nitya's film. And the other one is Anurag Basu's film called Jaga Jasus. So sometimes projects take different time. Jaga Jasus was started before Fitoor, and Fitoor is releasing first, but I think sometimes it just happens.
So, I mean, you actually don't feel like a lot of your colleagues or, contemporary people just want to be seen around. They don't want to be out of the news because the more you get written about, the more you're in the news.
That does seem to be the way, honestly, the way it is nowadays.
Yeah.
And to be quite honest, and you have to call a spade. That is kind of the way everyone is. Everyone is very aggressive and very visible, and especially now today with social media and all
Yeah,
that.
neither of us are on it.
Yeah, I know. She was just when she went to Canada.
I am being a little more conscious of it, and I think by nature I'm just a very private person, and I would quite happily I'm very happy also being away from the public eye. But sometimes I think that's something me and Adi both need to be.
No, but someone who's been private, but nowadays you're a little vocal. And now when you say something, it all gets blown out of proportion. So what do you make of it?
I don't think anyone blows anything out of proportion. I have actually always felt that for the most part, in the years that I've been in the film industry, I think the media have been actually really good with me. And I'm not just saying that to make a politically correct statement. I really do believe that in the larger picture, if I had to give it a ratio, for most of the time, the media actually been really quite supportive and instrumental in my career.
And also now you're pretty open about other areas of your life. When you're asked, you speak. Earlier you were like, it's okay, but sometimes now do you feel, okay, let me just give them that answer that they're asking for?
Yeah, see, there are many times where you want to come out and speak your heart openly, and you just want to say exactly what you feel at the moment. But just from my experience, my personal experiences in life, I believe that it's better to just, for me, it's worked out better to just kind of not speak much about your personal life and speak about your profession, and try and let your work speak for itself, because at the end of the day, that's what you want your identity to be, right? You want your identity to be, and you want your respect to come from your work, and that's what should be out there.
So personally, professionally, how on a scale of 10, how would you rate your personal life and your professional life?
Oh, that's a that's a hard question.
10 on 10, 10 on 10.
Let's
11 out of 10, 12 out of 10.
I think my hope and my desire is that this year all the aspects of my life achieve a 10 on 10.
Release is on Valentine's Day, so what is the Valentine gift that the two of you want? Not from the other, but
Valentine's Day, the
Do
two of
people
us
give gifts on Valentine's?
Yeah, well,
I have never gotten a Valentine's gift. Is it snowing?
no, it's just
the biggest gift for us will be, I think, if people turn out and go to the theatres and watch our film.
And before we wrap up, one classic you would actually want to revisit.
Gone with the Wind.
Oh, I was gonna think she would say that. I was gonna say that. A classic revisited. It's interesting. I like to Taxi Driver. You know, Taxi.
Okay.
Be interesting to do it here.
Or Taming of the Shrew.
Taming of the Shrew, yeah, actually not bad.
I haven't seen that.
So,
You know what?
literature class?
Exactly. I think we need to have a literature class where Aditya, are you going to tutor him?
No, I think you should. I think she's got just even more knowledge. We'll sit with you after the interview.
Chalo, theek hai. We slip